There are nights when you stare at the ceiling and whisper to yourself, "Why am I failing again and again? Maybe success is not for me." But sometimes failure is not the end. It is the fire that shapes your destiny. A boy named Arjun dreamed of becoming a professional runner. Every morning he trained hard, running barefoot on dusty roads, sweating till his lungs burned. But in every competition, he came last. People laughed, friends mocked, even his relatives said, "Running will never feed you. Give up, Arjun." One evening, exhausted and broken, Arjun sat near the track. Tears were rolling down his face. He whispered, "Maybe they're right. Maybe I should quit." Just then, his coach walked up and placed a hand on his shoulder. "Do you know why you're losing?" he asked. "Because you're measuring your speed against others. Stop chasing their pace. Find your own rhythm," the coach said, "and you will win." Arjun took those words to heart. He trained again, not to be faster than others, but to be better than the Arjun he was yesterday. Months later, in a regional race, when the final whistle blew, Arjun didn't look left or right, he just ran. And for the first time, he crossed the finish line first. With tears of joy, he realized success isn't about beating others, it's about refusing to give up on yourself. The boy who dared to dream, the boy who refused to quit, the boy who found his rhythm amidst the chaos, that boy became a man that day. He didn't win his first race, but from that day onwards, he never lost. People cheered his name. Arjun, Arjun, Arjun. Little did they know, their cheers were echoing the sentiments of the countless failures he had faced. Each failure was a stepping stone, each setback a milestone in his journey to success. Arjun's story reminds us that the pain you endure today is the strength you will feel tomorrow if you choose to hold on. If you can relate to Arjun's story, then this story is for you. Once upon a time, deep in a dense forest, there lived a little rabbit. His name was Benny. Benny was a kind and gentle rabbit, always ready to lend a helping paw to anyone in need. But unfortunately, Benny was also incredibly clumsy. One sunny afternoon, Benny was hopping through the forest when suddenly, thud, he fell head over heels into a deep hole. "Oh dear," he exclaimed, "how am I supposed to get out of here?" Benny tried and tried, but the more he struggled, the deeper he fell. Just when he was about to lose hope, he spotted a ledge and quickly grabbed onto it before sliding any further. As Benny rested on the ledge, catching his breath, he noticed something peculiar. The higher he climbed on the ledge, the smaller the hole seemed to be. With renewed determination, Benny began to climb higher and higher until he reached the top, and to his amazement, he found himself on solid ground. Shaking off the dirt and the leaves that had fallen on him, Benny looked around. To his astonishment, he realized he was no longer in the same place. In fact, he was in an entirely new part of the forest, a part he had never seen before. The trees were taller, the flowers were brighter, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of wild strawberries. As Benny hopped along, he stumbled upon a clearing where a group of rabbits were playing. They were fast, agile, and graceful, leaping and bounding with ease. Benny watched in awe. "I wish I could be like them," he sighed, "quick and nimble, not clumsy like me." Just then, one of the rabbits hopped up to Benny. "Are you all right?" she asked, noticing his sad expression. I just wish I could run as fast as you," Benny replied, feeling embarrassed. The rabbit smiled. "You can do it, Benny," she said encouragingly. "All you need is practice." And with that, she invited Benny to join their group. Benny spent his days playing and practicing with the other rabbits, learning how to be quick and agile. At first, it was challenging, and Benny often stumbled or fell, but he didn't give up. Instead, he kept practicing, determined to improve. As the weeks went by, Benny became faster and more confident. He learned to use his clumsiness to his advantage, turning his stumbles into unexpected leaps and his falls into graceful twists. The other rabbits marveled at his unique style, and Benny, in turn, marveled at himself. One day, a sly fox approached the group of rabbits. "Hey, little rabbits," he called out, "how about a race? If you beat me, I'll leave you alone. But if I win, you'll have to become my dinner." The rabbits gasped, but Benny stepped forward. "I accept your challenge," he said, surprising everyone. The fox sneered, thinking he had found an easy meal. "Very well, let the race begin." And with that, the fox dashed off into the trees. The rabbits watched as Benny started to run. At first, he seemed to be struggling, stumbling over roots and tripping on rocks. The fox was just a few feet away from winning when suddenly, bam, Benny tripped and fell head over heels. But instead of getting up, Benny rolled and tumbled all the way to the finish line, crossing it just a nose ahead of the fox. The rabbits cheered, and Benny, out of breath, could only smile. From that day on, Benny was no longer just the clumsy rabbit. He was Benny the Brave, the rabbit who had outsmarted the fox using his very clumsiness. And so, dear friends, remember, it's not always about being the strongest or the smartest. Sometimes it's about embracing what makes you unique and turning your weaknesses into strengths. For in doing so, you discover your true potential and become the hero of your own story. If you liked this story, share this video with your friends and family.